Facebook page as a business page, and then Google as they're mandatory because it's where your customers hang out. It's not what you consume as a person to just stay on and scroll all the way down on a daily basis, because that's we get hooked on that and you lose a lot of time.
Brando, hey, let me tell you the truth. It's not about who you know, but who knows you. Brando, it's your story. You can rewrite it if you so choose. It's your life. You decide those moves. Brando, you want to talk about getting the bag? He built a 7-figure brand from scratch. Brando, it's the Brand Up Podcast, but you already know. Enough talking, bro. Let's start the show. Brando.
What do you do if you don't use social media? What do you do during the day? Do you have a job? Do you have
I work. I do HHA, home health.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of paperwork, a lot of.
No, I go to clients' house and I
you go in person?
People, yeah, in person.
Got it. Okay. So, walk me through so you don't know this, right? You guys, my superpower is anything that has to do with marketing in the way that can generate revenue for your services, right? Because technically in here, you learn a set of skills during these, what was it, 3 days? 2 days?
3 days.
3?
Worked.
How was it?
It was good.
Good?
It was challenging at times.
And it should be.
Yeah.
Because if you want to be part, I'm talking about, as a general, you want to be part of the 1%, meaning live life on your own terms, have your own schedule, decide, do you want to work 7 days a week? Do you want to work 3 days a week? Do you want to, right? Have your own schedule. It shouldn't be easy, because if it would be easy, everybody would do it, right?
And she has no patience at all, and she knows that.
Well,
even,
good to meet you.
Yeah,
I'm in
right.
the same boat.
even her mom, because yesterday we had the mom as a model, and the mom was like, Yvonne, you got this, you got this, you got this. No, mom, but this is hard.
Hard? So wait, so let's talk about that. Hard compared to what?
Easy, of course, but it's hard.
Compared to what? Is hard compared to what? I mean,
like-
one of the things that you tried and you worked in the first second.
Nothing.
Exactly. You see what I mean? Anything that has a potential to have a great outcome, meaning, you again doing this full time, part time as a side hustle, and there's no right or wrong. The reason that my question to you is, you have a magic wand now. What do you want to happen in the next 6 to 12 months as it relates to this? Do you want to try to get customers maybe at home? Do you want to test it out? Do you want to wait until something else? What would you like to happen? And there's no right or wrong. It's just what's right for you now.
I definitely want to get better to a point where I'm able to have consistent clients by then in 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think would stop you from doing that?
If I just gave up
Exactly.
and I didn't put in the work, like you said.
And going back to you not using so what do you talk to your friends? WhatsApp or just text?
FaceTime, text.
FaceTime. So
Yeah.
that's new to me.
Mhm.
I just, if somebody, even my brother FaceTimes me, I'm like, I get pissed. It's like, no, text me. All right, so you want to try this. First step is you to become confident that you can start charging. For some students, this meant, what was it for you? 6 months-ish? 4 or 5 months? But Kuzmina had, I don't know if she had a chance to tell you, she had the cleaning business, so she had to, we rented a space. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Some students, I remember 2-3 weeks ago, a student was esthetician service, the facials and whatnot, out of her living room, and we were talking about, her changing a little bit the messaging to sound more like a luxurious type of experience. And but on the other side, she had a rebuttal saying, but I'm doing services out of my living room, so how can we find a middle ground for that? And I said, look, you just have to be okay with some people saying no, in terms of, I'm not saying no to the service, but not seeing it as a luxurious experience just because it's, until they get the chance to try it, right? Once they try it, it's a whole different thing. But there's no right or wrong. because Nina was renting an office space next to my office here, just like a mile away. So it wasn't necessarily a salon. Inside was beautiful,
Right.
but then she had one or two clients that during the winter, and we're talking, I don't know, 6 years ago, whatever, 6 years ago. When they arrived there at 5 p.m., it was already dark. The place was a commercial area. They saw the building and like, God damn, that doesn't look like a salon. Boom, they bounced. You know, you have to be okay with it if you find yourself in one of those scenarios, right?
Yeah.
And then I was talking to another student that said, Marian, I'm debating between renting a salon that's about $1,000 that looks really nice in a nice area with great parking, and the place looked amazing and whatnot. But I'm afraid that I don't have the budget.
Yeah.
And I said, well, the numbers are easy. How much money are you making right now? A month because she wasn't doing full time, the facial and the lashes. And I think it was somewhere around $800. And I said, look, it's $800 in total because you're doing this part time and you just started a few weeks ago. You could push harder, make $1,000 a month, but then you have to pay all that in rent. I would say stay where you are for another 5-6 months. And the difference in money, let's put it in some marketing campaigns. Let's pay some Instagram ads, some Google ads, get some more people in. Now you're making $1,500 to $2,000 a month. Now you have enough money to pay rent. And then of course from there, you can attract a different kind of clientele once you move into a new place.
Right.
But it's, the reason that I'm sharing this with you is more, there's no right or wrong. It's what's right for you now. If we talk in 6 months, things might change. You might say, well, no, I want to add different things to this. So with that in mind, what do you think, other than you spending more time to get comfortable with your craft, your skill set, what do you think roughly would that take you, looking now at the last 2 days of practicing? What do you think?
Like how long would it take me to
Yeah,
get
to
to
get
where I want to be?
Mhm.
Or
No, just to get comfortable and stuff. Because at first you might need to offer, it can be 2-3 times the service for free, just for you to have a real person. Because I don't think it's fair. I shouldn't say fair. There were some students that they left from here. They started practicing on a mannequin, and in like 2-3 weeks they already had clients. It's not a matter of can you get clients? You can get clients tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Is do you feel confident in offering the service that and pretty much, in other words, confident in your own skill set to just do it? Do you think we're talking about a month, 2-3 weeks, 3-4 months of you practicing? What do you think, roughly?
I would probably need I would say like a month or two to get more comfortable.
Month or two. How many times a week? How many hours a week would that mean?
I would probably dedicate like 4 hours a day to get
4 hours a
better.
day?
Yeah.
Which 4 hours a day in a week?
I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
she told me I'm kind of like hard on myself. So
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, right? If you're a perfectionist and you want to, she probably doesn't realize that she's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's.
I told her, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had no patience when I started, and now after that I started to love it. It makes me so calm and relaxed.
Right.
And it's the reason that I said she's the same. The reason that she, quote unquote, had to quit the cleaning companies, there were employees involved. And then when you have employees, it's a whole different game, because now it's not just you training the employees to your standards, it's also the market standards that a lot of times these two do not connect.
Right.
In what way? Maybe because all the reviews were 5 stars, but the employees were driving her crazy. And I was looking and trying to observe, because I'm a total different person. Like I can deal with, we hire, like my first company, it's a moving and storage business here in Medford. Every year we bring people from overseas, 25 to 30 people, sponsored to get their work visa and whatnot. So for me, it's fun to have meetings in front of them and having to deal with chaos and all that. She's a whole different person. She cannot deal with that. Anytime when a problem occurs, she takes it personal. She gets mad. So, and I said to her, look, it's really not necessary. Let's find a way. And then she started kind of going. She took a couple courses for lashes and whatnot, and then slowly starting to offer the service. And then when COVID hit, salons were the first businesses that were shut down. And I said to Christina, look, it's really two ways that we can grow this business. One, we can either have a salon in every major city, right? You have one, well, not for necessarily a major city, but it's still where she built the presence.
Yeah.
But then we can open another one in Boston. We can open another one in Cambridge because it's, the clientele. And then, in a couple other good places. But that means having multiple employees in each. You need, like in a place like this, 2, possibly 3, like if you split it equally, have 3 beds. But that means having 3 girls to manage in each salon. Can you deal with that? Instantly said, no, I don't want to. And I said, that's fine. Then we can schedule, then we can grow the business vertically by looking at the skill set that she already had for a couple of years. And that's when we started offering courses, classes, podcast was launched that way, the YouTube channel and whatnot. So it's just a matter of, again, I keep going back to, there's no right or wrong. It's just what's right for you right now. And then every 6 months you kind of repeat, and then you kind of look and see, oh, do I want, if you feel like, oh, that's one model that I would like to go into, like teaching and whatnot. Well, you just have to really master 2 techniques pretty much, and then from there you can start. And when she started offering, she already was doing lashes for probably 3 to 4 years, caught like full time, and she still doubted herself. And I said, well, and the reason for that is she was keep comparing herself to other people that were doing it for so much longer, and they were not offering. And I said, what are you doing? You're looking at your level 3, comparing yourself to somebody else's level 10 maybe.
Yeah.
You're not, but you're not, and comparison is not a bad thing if you're doing it in a way to get motivated.
Yeah.
But then once you start into doubting yourself, you're just looking at it by mistake for the wrong reason, right? And then I said to her, you're not helping another lash artist that has been doing it for 10 years to come and take a class with you. You're helping yourself when you got started. That's the student that you're gonna teach to. You're not teaching a person that's more advanced than you.
Exactly.
It's no, right? So it's just a matter of like understanding, all right, like what would be the path that you feel is the best for you. Again, when do you think it's right for you right now? And then you think, oh, in 6 months I wanna do this a month. But you said 1 to 2 months roughly for you to get comfy to offer the service. And you said you have 4 hours a day to dedicate. I would say those 1-2 months will probably become 2 to 3 weeks. I'm confident to say that. She would know better. Like I have no, like my superpower is marketing. But the reason that I learned so much about the industry is because the videos and the podcasts and whatnot, I kept hearing it. And I know it's weird to hear a guy kind of talking about lashes and whatnot, but I'm not talking about the service itself. I'm talking. This applies, like the what I'm about to share with you applies to any kind of business. So let me ask you: are you a coffee drinker?
Yeah.
When I say coffee, what's the first thing that you think of?
Just in general.
Brand.
Oh, Cafe Bustelo.
Is that like a fancy Italian?
No, it's like Colombian coffee. It's really good.
Okay. I think she's the first student that didn't say Dunkin' or Starbucks.
Yeah.
The reason that maybe Bustelo,
Yeah.
double L.
Yeah.
We have to check it out. Is
I
there?
know. The
Is
coffee.
it mass? Oh, you know?
Yeah. You
Oh, are
buy
you talking about like a
Bread.
Coca brand? Oh,
Bread.
like I was talking. Are you talking about like Starbucks or Dunkin' or like an actual coffee brand? 'Cause I was talking.
Oh no! I'm talking about like an actual.
Oh, like a brand. Okay, like
yeah,
like,
like
okay, like Starbucks.
Okay, is Starbucks the best coffee out there?
Probably not.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but it's one of the most known, right? And that comes down to marketing, right? So it doesn't matter how, and the reason that I always mention this is a lot of students, when I kind of have these Q&A sessions at the end, and I ask, what do you think it's more important? Is it the service, like itself, like the lash service that you offer, the marketing, or the sales process? Once marketing does the job and somebody calls you, at that point marketing stops because your phone rang, right? And then now you have to sell over the phone. What do you think is the most important skill set to have?
I would say marketing. Because without that,
Because,
you
exactly.
can't do anything.
Because if marketing doesn't exist, there's no sales, there's no phone to ring, there's no DM to answer,
Yeah.
right? And then once the person gets to your salon or living room or whatever the space is, you're gonna have to, well, one, you have to learn how to switch the hats from being a great service provider when you offer the service, but then the moment the service is done, you have to quickly know how to take that hat off and then put the sales hat back on, because you have to book the refill.
Yep.
Nobody should leave the salon without having a date booked to come back, because that's the best. You already built trust. Hopefully you offered a great service, so at the end everybody's ready to leave you a 5-star review. And then now is the time. Doesn't matter if you're doing it part-time or full-time. And at first, of course, you're not going to be booked up, but nobody knows that. So you should always have urgency in place, meaning, well, I know most of the times you come Wednesday and the refill should happen in 2 weeks. You would say something along the lines of, I know you typically come Wednesday for your lashes. In 2 weeks, I have Wednesday and Thursday available, or Wednesday and Friday available. You always offer a second option in case they're not available for the same day, but you never say, do you want to book?
Okay.
You always say, well, in 2 weeks, I have Wednesday and Friday available. Which one works best for you?
Right.
You do not give the option. Now, of course, you're not gonna. So, yeah, somebody to, if things can happen. It can be actually a busy week at work, or other, like, life can get in the way and whatnot. But that still teaches you, because if you're not able to convince the first couple of customers that you're gonna have, are gonna be the best way for you to get trained how to talk to them when you have almost zero sales training, or depending, I don't know how, if you deal with sales at your current job, but anything in life is sales. You convincing your parents for something, it's a sales technique. You convincing a boyfriend to, I don't know, go for dinner instead of watching football, it's a sales technique, right? Like, it's always, like, you always have, the moment you decide, all right, I'm a business owner, you have to see all of these things from that point of view. And going back to the social platforms, the moment you become a business owner, all your social platforms, I think you're the first person ever that I talked to, and you're still, you said you're 22? You're still Gen Z pretty much, right? You're definitely the first person, but you're definitely the first Gen Z that I heard. So absolutely no Instagram, no Snapchat,
I
TikTok.
just made a Snapchat like 3 weeks ago.
Snapchat for this, like, I'm familiar with how, obviously I'm familiar with the platform, and I'm familiar with the way the ads work, and they have a really great product. I don't know if you ever paid attention to, like, you'll see ads directly into DMs, which is none of the other platforms have that kind of ad. I can remember I was seeing a Ray-Ban ad, mostly products. The problem is Snapchat, for where, like, let's say 2 months go by, you already built your confidence up, you're ready to start your own place, or like rent. What would the location be? Where, in Boston? Or
Probably not. Maybe in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire? Which
Yeah.
Manchester?
Like Nashville, New Hampshire.
Nashville?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. So the best way, because at first you have to think for a second. I'm curious to see what your answer is. Do you think lashes, it's a must-have service or a luxury service?
I think it's a luxury because you don't need lashes.
She was the first person that actually said that. Did you watch any of her? No, because you have no Instagram.
No, I've seen a couple of
Yeah.
her reels, but I don't think I've seen that.
YouTube
on the
Shorts.
reel. Yeah, her short on YouTube.
Oh, you were, yeah, I mean, on YouTube Shorts, all the reels are posted there. But it's funny because that's actually it's the question that I ask, and everybody answers, no, women need lashes. And I always say, no, they don't. Now, once they have it, it's hard. Do you wear? Yeah, do you wear?
Yeah.
Once you get them, it's hard to say no because how much time it saves you and the way it makes you look and all that. But at the end of the day, it's still a luxury service. So somebody paying $200 for a first-time service and then 100, what is it, 150 refill typically? Make the numbers easy. 200 for the first, and then 2 weeks later another 150. So that's 350 in the first month, and then 300 a month pretty much, because 150 every two weeks.
Yeah.
On average, a client, based on the numbers here at the salon, they stay on 10 to 12 months, and then sometimes they take a break for 2-3 months, and then they come back, or some, you have to take a, but on average, let's make the numbers easy, 10 months. Roughly, it's 10 to 12 months, $3,000 to $4,000 a year in just lashes alone. That's not cheap, right? So what does that tell you? The client, the avatar of the client that you're trying to attract has to, what?
Money.
But he has to make
Yeah.
a decent amount of money in order to afford it, right? So then, going back to Snapchat and whatnot, it's, do you think, because the first, when Cosmina started offering lashes, I asked her the same question. Who do you think is your ideal client? And she immediately jumped and said, well, I want to work with Instagram influencers, and I want to do lashes to girls between 18 and 21 or 22, whatever. And I said, there's nothing wrong with that, but based on the prices, do you think, somebody that's either a student or they are about to finish high school, do you think a bulk of the customers would afford the refill every 2 weeks, right? Because it depends on how many clients you want to have, right? If you want to have 2-3 clients every day times, let's say 20 days a month with weekends and whatnot off, it's like 60 clients a month, right? On average, if you want to really do it full time. And then she kind of thought, actually, you're not wrong. And I said, well, no, because it's expensive. It's like, $3,000-4,000 a year.
Yeah.
It's not only for someone just on lashes alone, right? Not putting all the other services that you ladies have to spend money on.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? Well, the person, and we did this both on the lash service and also the ideal student. So the ideal client for the salon, you have to give it a name. So we said, her name is Jennifer. She's anywhere between 40 to 40 something years old. She lives in Winchester. She probably works in finance or at a bank, and possibly invest in real estate and making anywhere close to 75,000 plus a year. Now, based on that, let's reverse engineer. Do you think Jennifer spends time on Snapchat? I kind of doubt it. You see what I mean? So now you have, especially you being Gen Z, well, you said you don't use almost any of the social platforms, but most girls will say, well, I use Instagram and TikTok, right?
Yeah.
And I said, every time when I ask about Facebook, everybody's like, ugh.
Yeah, I know.
From a consumer, you might not like it. But from a business owner, the moment you become a business owner, all the platforms for the business, now it's your decision if you want to. In your case, it's a little bit easier because you have none, so you pretty much would start from scratch.
Yeah.
Or if you have all the ones, you reactivate, whatever. It's up to you if you want to. Already you didn't shut them down, maybe you just deleted the app, and then it's just kind of
No, they're gone.
either they're gone.
Yeah.
it's up to you if you want to make them as your personal name and then act as a personal brand offering beauty services, right? And then in the future, if you want to add more different services, you don't have to change much because now it's attached to your personality. Like for example, in Cosmina's case, her Instagram and her YouTube channel, well, I did a mistake on the YouTube channel because instead of having the channel name under her name, we looked at search engine optimization, SEO, and we called it lash extension training or something like that. And because her channel is verified, I cannot change the name now.
Oh.
So I can, but I have to submit. It's complicated. So I'm like, whatever. But in case you're wondering, like, what would be the best way for you to get started? That's the decision that you want to make, right? If you want to be under this umbrella from a business standpoint in the future, like for example, the other student 2-3 weeks ago, she was doing facials. She had the accounts under esthetician or something like that username. And I said, look, it's a little challenging for someone, if you want to attract lash service clients as well, if they come to your account and everything that they see, it only says esthetician and facials and whatnot, they might not be an instant connect with the fact that you offer lashes as well. Versus if you rename the account under your personal name, and in the future maybe you want to add other services. I don't know, eyebrows, Botox, whatever, tattoo, all kinds of other stuff. They kind of fall under the same umbrella of beauty services. If you decide to sell real estate, it's a whole different thing. You kind of have to change the content. But if you keep it under the beauty service, you don't have to do nothing. Like in the bio, you might add another line that says, lashes, Botox, or whatever other services you offer, but you do not have to change much, right? So that's I guess the challenge is for you to decide, what do you want this to be? Do you want it to be under your personal name? The reason that we kept Cosmina's account under her personal name, so the salon itself, it's Limit Lashes Salon, right? She also has the product brand, which is it's kind of brand of its own, and then her name is attached to the trainings. Why? Because if we ever want to, let's say we want to franchise the salon tomorrow, but we call it Lash in a Box, Lash Business in a Box, or whatever, the salon can be franchised tomorrow without the trainings to be affected, without the brand to be affected. Actually, the brand would benefit, the product brand, because all the franchisees will have to use the same product brands, right? If we decide that we want to sell the product brand, that can be sold on its own without the salon and the trainings to be affected, because she acts as the personal brand holding the three together, but they're not necessarily affected by each other if she decides to either stop, sell, or franchise one of them, right? The trainings itself can be called Lash Training in a Box and can be licensed to somebody else. Let's say other students that are successful, they want to offer trainings in the future, because she has a lash trainer course as well. They would go to the course and then offer the same curriculum, the same model, the same brand products. So you see what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a challenge, it's your decision to make. All right, do I want that to be my model? Or you just want to call it, like, there is an account for the salon, like Limit Lashes, and that's it. Just because we wanted to make sure nobody else takes the name. But literally the only challenge with that is if you decide at some point to sell the accounts, nobody would buy an account that would be called your name.
Right.
That's the only, you wouldn't want that anyway, right? You would probably rename it username as your personal name, because you don't want to, and nobody would buy it anyway, because there's no value unless you go the route of creating a lot of content, and now you become the influencer brand, and you create content about lash products, and then you do reviews, product reviews, and all this stuff. And then at that point, you're the face behind the content, and then even if somebody buys it, you would probably have to be under contract to keep produce content for them, because right, I don't, are you familiar with Tony Robbins, or name one person that you watch constantly, like, I don't know, a YouTuber or somebody that you like, an influencer any of any kind.
Probably this girl named Meek. I don't know if you guys would know who she is. She's an influencer. She's really popular.
Makeup, what should it?
Yeah, she's makeup, hair.
Yeah, so imagine somebody makes her a great offer. How many subscribers on YouTube, you know?
I think
Maybe
she has like 3 million.
Oh,
I think
got
so.
it.
Yeah.
So imagine somebody say to her, all right, here's $3 million for your YouTube channel.
Mhm.
You buy the channel, but then if tomorrow Yvonne starts creating video on that channel, people will be like, where's Monique, you said?
Yeah,
Where is she? Like, we want, like, right?
that's true. I get it.
So
yeah.
it's that would be the only challenge, by deciding, all right, do I want my name to be attached? But the moment you become a business owner, you have to be vocal about it. Like, all your friends from high school or college, if you went to college, or any, like, your neighborhood friends, like anybody that's connected with you in any way, shape, or form, should know that you offer the service that you're offering, because that's just a free billboard.
Yeah.
It's a free way of you offering these services, and you wouldn't have to pay for it, right? The moment you become serious, you have to start paying for. It's a pay to, like, business. It's a pay to play game, right? And then at that point, how did you find out about the
Google.
Google? So you went to Google, searched what, lash training,
In
lash class
Boston, yeah.
in Boston?
Mhm.
Yeah. So any reason why you didn't search New Hampshire?
Cause I didn't find any over there. Many like good ones that I.
Got it. But you did.
Yeah.
You did search and you found some of them.
And they
Uh,
weren't.
And what? So walk me through the process. What you searched for lash trainers or lash training class in Boston. What happened next?
I looked at her reviews. Well, I clicked her link. I looked at her reviews, and I saw like the testimonials with all the students and stuff, and
The video testimonials.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
And then how long ago? A while ago.
Yeah, because I reached out to her like a year ago. And then we were moving, and I couldn't come to classes and
Moved
stuff.
out of state.
Yeah, moved back here. I was in Dallas, and then we moved back over here.
Wait. So let's go back. So when you searched, you were in Dallas, or you were?
Yeah, I was living in Dallas, but I was here like visiting family for a while. So I looked her up, and then I found her. Then went back to Dallas. Then we moved back here, and
So-
this was the right timing. Yeah,
Texas, not a. How was the weather?
it was terrible.
Right
In
in
the
the middle of the summer.
Yeah,
I
we
can
reached like
imagine.
120 almost.
And it's dry, actually. It's not the
Mm-mm.
humidity that, like, you know, even if you get 100, 105, whatever, it's humid.
There's no wind.
It's you like
It's
you're
dry.
remember Miami, we were June or July, and we said, oh, like, this humidity, put it upside down times 10, because it's worse when it's no humidity.
Mhm.
I remember I've been to a few events in Austin, 2 times in Austin, and I think only once in Dallas. I mean, Texas is a big
Yeah, it
state.
is.
But I do like the real estate market there, like the prices.
Yeah, I know everything's cheaper there, but the way they pay does not match that.
Yeah.
The salaries over there.
Yeah, it does not match. That's why everything is so cheap over there.
Yeah, I mean, we have some friends. They always say, because I see she's
Depends what you do though.
yeah. Well, he's pretty much my. Well, no, he has a couple businesses. One with cars, and then one with like marketing consulting, business consulting, and she does real estate. And the houses that I see when she posts, and I see like $450,000 for a goddamn mansion.
Like everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's all remodeled like stylish and
Yeah.
modern, like
Mhm.
looking. Maybe not 10, but even like 4 or 5 bedrooms with 3, 4 baths and huge, like,
Open
open
ceilings
concept.
outside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, like, this cannot be true. How the hell? Like, what are
It's
these
true.
prices? But then you look around and it's a lot of land, and you don't have that in Boston. And then
Yeah.
Boston just has the commercial aspect of like the business. It's a whole different, you know, got the schools and all the investors and whatnot. But anyway, so what do? So you found the ad, you looked at the reviews, and testimonials. Then you called or texted or
Yeah, we set up like a phone appointment
call?
and we talked. Yeah.
nice. And then you ended up. So what triggered when you came back? What triggered the desire to finalize it?
I just really wanted to like get
So all this time you wanted
Yeah.
to. How come you never searched over there? Just time didn't.
No, I just didn't want to do it there. I wanted to come to her. I did. Yeah.
It came from Texas.
Oh, she actually came. She found and remember,
Really?
there were a few that came from YouTube directly.
Came from YouTube.
Yeah, she came also from like
Right.
most of them came from like really out of state.
Yeah.
They came from YouTube. All these platforms, like typically when you sell a little bit of a higher ticket, like anything that's above $1,000, it needs anywhere between 7 to 14 touch points. But a touch point it can be considered a minute of trust being built by watching some type of tutorial, like on Instagram and TikTok and all the others, because all the reels are, mostly a minute. I mean, yeah, they allow now up to 3 minutes, but I don't think I ever found myself watching a 3-minute reel on Instagram. Like, but on YouTube, because you have the horizontal frame, it can be like sometimes I watch, even if I watch it on 2x speed, I do find myself watch like an hour podcast, right? So watching someone from 2-3 minute short form videos versus watching an hour of content from them, it's a big difference. The trust that you build, it's a whole different. I know you said you watched YouTube Shorts, so you never watched any of the longer.
I watch like vlogs too, like regular like YouTube videos too.
And then from Meetup, you mostly
Like
saw the shorts.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't think you're so different, like
Really?
compared to
Yeah.
about all of these things, like YouTube Shorts, which almost I don't think I've ever heard anyone. And the reason that we do like YouTube Shorts, in my opinion, it's the most powerful platform out of all of these short form. Why? Because you get the scrolling aspect of it, because there's no other platform that you can search for a topic and to show you a video based on the title. Like you don't necessarily go to Instagram and search lash training,
Yeah.
but you would go to YouTube to learn, right? And then YouTube might recommend you, if you title it properly, you might see a recommendation of a YouTube short when you search for something. And then on the top, you even have the option to switch between regular videos and short form.
Exactly.
In shorts or live videos now, you can kind of search it separately. But anyway, my point, the reason that I want to mention this is the system that I'm talking about definitely works. How do I know that? You're here. And all this time, I don't know how long in between you watched any of the, like while you were gone, how much you watched any of the videos, but when something definitely connected, I would probably want to ask you, like, what was the thing that kind of was stuck in your mind that you wanted to continue taking the class even after you were gone, but maybe you don't remember because it's a lot of other things happen in a year.
I think you said the testimonials.
But that was the first time but then if you leave for a year, you don't just constantly think, maybe I'm wrong. Well, I'm just curious to see where, because again, this is such a unique type of,
Yeah, I know.
and it's nothing, like, I'm just trying to figure it out, but it's, you can,
Just like the way like she's just set up like on social media, it looks so good. Like her work, everything
nice.
just looks good.
So it's, the reason I mentioned this is the system definitely works because one, you're here,
Yeah.
and then two, it was definitely something that triggered you to keep watching,
Yeah.
right? Because YouTube, yes, once you watch one video, they'll keep showing you, multiple things. But then now YouTube has, I don't know if you, I'm assuming you watch it mostly on your phone.
Yeah.
You can select on the top if it's podcast that you're watching, if it's music. Like if I'm at the gym, I don't listen to Spotify. I still listen to music on YouTube. And I just click the music and I have the playlist that I want, right? So it's, for the artist, it's still considered a play
Yeah.
because they don't know if I actually watched the video of that song or if it's just playing in my pocket. Like YouTube doesn't know that. Like it's like for them it's a win-win anyway.
Yep.
So that's why I say YouTube is the best platform out of all. It's also the hardest to punch through. Easiest, in my opinion, would be how comfortable are you on camera?
I don't really mind.
You don't mind?
No.
Oh, good.
Really.
She's really unique. Like all of the questions that I.
But she doesn't have any.
Yeah.
Well,
you know.
she doesn't. So wait. She doesn't have the social media platforms. It's not a bad thing because she would consume content on those. I don't mind. Like that, it doesn't matter when you use it with intention to know the fact. Like I'm gonna you take a, let's say, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday. Oh, so when I came on, you guys were talking about ChatGPT. You do not use ChatGPT at work? No. It has to be your best. I was telling you the other week. I think I talk to ChatGPT more than I talk to her on a daily basis. Like I ask anything that you can imagine. I don't know, like whatever you want to think, it has a solution in like a couple of seconds. You need a new plan at the gym. You tell ChatGPT what's your age, what's your schedule, if you have any hormonal imbalance, what's your diet, what's your preferred method of working out, and it would generate a fitness plan for you to do day by day, and then also keep track of it. It can send you reminders now. To
I believe it because what she showed me, I was so amazed.
what the caption. The one of the videos.
We asked something about beginner lash artists.
Yeah, like 3 reasons.
Three
Tips,
reasons
yeah.
to.
No, but every time I talk about this example, if I'm tired, it's 9 p.m. Let's say I don't want to order. I go in the fridge, I open the fridge, I take a photo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You upload the photo, and it makes you a plan of what you can cook without using the oven. It's something that you can throw in the microwave, whatever. Like, I don't know, anything. Like, you have a problem with your car, you take a photo of that, and then you ask ChatGPT what. I was at CVS about a month or 2 months ago. I had a couple skin spots, and the guy didn't know what to recommend me. I'm like, I went a little bit in the back, pulled my T-shirt, took a selfie, uploaded ChatGPT, and I said, "Let me know what you think the skin condition is." And what can I buy from CVS, from the CVS located at whatever, because you can access the inventory online, and you can see whatever it's available, so it doesn't recommend you something that it's.
They even recognize my name.
Yeah, they
Without
recognize
saying
your
anything.
name.
I asked something and he said, "Yeah, sure, Cosmina," but I didn't mention my name.
And you didn't set it in the settings?
No, nothing.
I set it up myself
Sure, Cosmina.
in a way to recognize it. And then we haven't even talked about the voice. You probably don't use the voice too much.
The voice I did the
Yeah,
first
did?
time.
She did.
Oh, okay. Oh, and the voice, it's responded with your name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that makes sense. If you would have done that in the text, it would have been a little creepy. Because I know mine, I set it up because it asked me, "How do you want me to call you?" How do?
I didn't set up anything.
Yeah, but the voice one, maybe. I have to listen. It's probably when I created. But no, that. And then the paid version, I have the paid version, but the free one, it's for the next 6 months at least. Just rip the benefits of it. Like, use it every day for everything. It's crazy because it's so, a lot of people complain, "Oh, I'm gonna lose my job because of it." And make your job easier and deliver things faster now with, especially like now it creates photos like really. I took a photo of our backyard and I said, we plan to, I said, act like a world-class landscaping company and design and backyard design company, and based on my property located at, and then I gave the address because you can access the deed online because it's all public information. I uploaded a few photos and I said, give me 3 versions of how would you redesign my backyard. One being budget friendly, second one being a little more in between, and then third one a little more luxurious style. Elements that I want in there are a small pool, sauna, whatever. And like the
I
design.
can imagine what the pictures were like.
Crazy. you need a plan for where to travel next, and you need a what do you call to search for the best tickets. ChatGPT will do that.
What?
Like
It even gives you the other day I searched to change those cartons black. I took a picture of them and they
you
sent
really
me a photo.
you really started using it like I said.
They gave me a whole links from Amazon with the same model.
I'm impressed to hear that. I didn't know that. She typically doesn't do
I
well
only
with
use for like posting on the
captions.
captions and things like that. But now I'm like,
descriptions.
I was thinking
Everyday
one
life.
day, how should I order this? I don't even know how to call them. And then, oh, hold a second. I took a picture.
Or you want to redesign the space here to see how
that's
this will look.
Crazy.
You
Right.
measure the the square footage. You tell the square footage. You take a few screenshots from a couple.
Amazing, easy. You don't have to use your brain.
Right.
Well, it matters how you ask
How
the
you ask,
prompt
yeah.
because if you give it a vanilla question, it'll give you a vanilla answer. Like you have to. The more specific you are, and especially the fact that you can tell it to. Like when I need something, let's say I want some reverse psychology type of response for a video or whatever, I can even tell it, you read 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, or you read, for this prompt, act like you read, like you like Mel Robbins books, right? So if you want the response to be similar to what those artists or writers talk and the way that people, like you can tell it you read or you're familiar with Monique's makeup videos. You can even give the link to the YouTube channel. Look at all these videos and maybe you record one with yourself and tell me what can I do to improve my own version of creating videos. I want to sound more similar to Monique than I sound, right? Like all kinds of different things.
That is
You start posting a few photos and videos on Instagram, and then you tell ChatGPT, inspect my account and tell me what can I do better to get a better reach.
so. This is great.
It's like there's no reason to not just rip the benefits of it.
Yeah. I downloaded it so quick once you showed me.
Yeah, I need a Gmail account or whatever. All right, I know we went in a lot of different questions.
All I know is I need to get social media in order to be safe.
Yeah, so if I would do a plan for you, like just something quick that you can implement like this, as soon as possible. The three platforms that you cannot live without for this, like these are just the mandatory ones, are first, it's not even Instagram, it's Google Maps. Because Google is the one that you actually search for yourself, right? Now, it used to be called Google Listing, it used to be called Google My Business, it used to be, they change it every year. Think of it as Google Maps. When you search for something and it shows on the right side if you are on desktop, if it's on mobile, it's only one side that you show up. And it shows the reviews. That's Google Maps. You need a Gmail account and that's it. One thing that I would recommend is before you do that, make sure you have the name decided, because the second platform would be Instagram. It has to be set as a business account. When you create your Instagram account, it asks you personal, business, or creator.
Right.
In this case, creator or business are pretty much the same, but business gives you the ability to put a book link integrated directly with Instagram. It's easier analytics for when you start running ads. Because again, when you become serious, the organic side, it's okay to start with, but when you want to be serious about it, ads and promotions are where it's at.
Right.
Because you want to think of it almost like a light switch. You need more light, meaning you need more clients, you turn it on. You're fully booked, turn it off. That's how you have to think of, again, it's a pay to play. You either pay with money to invest into, and you can start with as low as $5 a day. You don't have to spend, thousands of dollars at first. And you shouldn't, because at first you want to get familiar with how things work. Same on Google. So first, Google Maps. Google Maps, number one. Second, Instagram account to be business account. And then a Facebook page. So In order to have a Facebook page, you need to have a Facebook profile, personal profile, like your name. And even if you decide to have the whole business set as your personal name, the way Cosmina has it, you still have to go into Facebook and create it used to be fan pages a while ago, but in theory, it's a business page. Just you can name it the same way as your profile. You just have to connect it with the Instagram account. Instagram is going to ask you if you have a Facebook page that you want to connect it with. So you have to connect the business page with the Instagram account. Why? When you post on Instagram, it automatically posts on Facebook. There's no reason why. Yeah, there's no reason why you shouldn't get traffic from both. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. Is you want as much traffic as possible, as more people as possible to see your content. These three are enough to begin with, but Google now allows you to add every social platform integrated in Google Maps. The reason that you want to create a Pinterest account, a LinkedIn, a TikTok, a YouTube channel, even if you don't have any plan to post a video, at least to have the same username, same name, so you can have the URL to post it in the Google Maps settings.
Okay.
It's gonna ask you in there. I don't know if you can pull. Is your phone? You have Google Maps in here, right? Just Apple Maps. There you go. So let's see. Flashes. Just for you to have an idea. See here, this is all free traffic. So see some. Actually, let me put it just this here. 364. These are free interactions. This means either persons that clicked. See, 3,759. This is Google search. This is all free, just because of the Google search. And it tells you Google Maps, mobile, Google search desktop, Google Maps desktop, and it even tells you what kind of
like what they searched too? Oh wow.
Yeah. Beauty school, lash extension, eyeliner, magnetic lashes, lash course, lash tech, like a lot of them make sense, right? And then in here, profile about, there you go, social profiles, see?
Oh cool, all of them are there.
So you see how all of them are Lash Trainer Pro except TikTok, because it's a verified account, so it had to. All the other ones are Lash Trainer Pro. So that's the reason why, even if you now, of course, if you create one video that's good to post on Instagram, why not just post on all of them?
Right.
And there's so many platforms. I'm happy to, if you get to that point, and you're like, you message Cosmina, I say, Cosmina, I already have these all accounts created. I started posting videos, but I'm getting overwhelmed with like how, I'm spending too much time posting on all of them. I'm happy to send you a couple apps that we use with our virtual assistants. Because at some point, you'll have to think, all right, how much time do I spend running all these little tasks? By like creating the video, nobody's gonna be able to replace it.
Yeah.
But all the other things like editing and posting and all that, those can be easily outsourced to somebody else. When you get to a point where you realize I make more money if I sell lashes than just spending time editing the video.
Right.
Like if I would have to edit the videos, because I want every little thing to be perfect, it would take me forever, and 2 hours of my time, it's worth a lot more than $5 an hour that I pay somebody on a platform like Fiverr, which you find people from overseas, and $5 for, it's not like you scam somebody and you underpay them. No, for them, $5 an hour in their country, the minimum wage is $1 or less than $1 an hour,
Yes.
right? So it's like $5 an hour. It's huge for them. So the point is, it'll come to a point at some time when you realize, well, it makes more sense. I create the videos Sunday or Saturday. I do research. Sunday I create them. I put them in a Google Drive. I send them to a virtual assistant. He edits and posts all the videos for me. Your job is to just, anybody that DMs you stay in touch with them and reply back to messages. You answer the phone calls. You follow up with people, because not everybody's gonna book, right?
Yeah.
At first, Referrals are going to be your best friend, meaning, you know, maybe your mom knows somebody, or at work, especially if you have, if you work in an environment where a lot of women are there, you start saying like, hey, friends and family get 10% off. I started offering lashes last week, right? Okay. Anybody, any restaurant that you go at, any place that you are a fan of can become a referral to you. You just have to make sure you offer them something in return, because if not, why they should recommend you a client, right?
Yeah.
But again, it's just it's a little mindset change that you have to do in terms of all of these things. Like now, when you become a business owner, and I have a feeling that you will pretty soon, just have to look at all of them from the business owner standpoint, meaning now you're not using social to just get trapped into the scrolling thing day to day. You're using it, or if you do that, at least do it by liking a lot of competitors of yours, or maybe not direct competitors as, you know, the next door, but maybe other lash trainers, so you can see what they post about, and then now what's being recommended is, you know, things that you can actually benefit from, right? Like you get inspired from, and you can kind of try not to copy, but duplicate in your own. Make sense?
Yeah.
I know you're tired because it's been a long 3 days. You said, right? Any questions?
That was pretty straightforward.
Brand up,